Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of pruning on my Fraser fir that I've been training for a few years outside, basically 5.5 feet, maybe 6 feet, including the root ball. And then that's the max height it's going to be. So it's had a lot of progress over the past few years. So we'll get to adjusting the apex and pruning off some growth that I don't want any more energy going to. And I picked up a bunch of old window panes from a buddy who is redoing an American colonial from the late 1700s. And we're going to very loosely begin the planning and construction. So I'll show you what I got and what my thought process is. But I just wanted to real quick. This is my greenish yellow apple tree that has produced thousands of apples some years. It is sparse this year, so pretty much Europe and I don't know about southern US, but definitely eastern and western US have really been suffering from a drought this year. You know, it's hard to complain about really nice hot sunny weather during the summer, but the apple production was abysmal. So I've heard that from other people who actually watch the news, that's actually a thing going on this year. So apple prices probably going way up. So I guess I'm eating bananas during the winter. So anyways, let's get to it. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so the Fraser fir is to my right, and what I need to fix, while we still have some of the growing season left, is I have some really long, crazy shoots with lots of branching, which ordinarily would be great, but not at the top of the tree. So a lot of energy always goes to the top of this tree, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I think I really like what we got going on here, so this might be something that we develop and just take everything else out. And you could see the age on that trunk by giving it that hard pruning, exposing the trunk to the sun, really got some nice some age on it. So what I would probably like to do moving forward in the future, instead of keeping it as like your Christmas tree style, is develop the branches, maybe fewer branches, and get them to develop like this, more width coming out, so it's just branch, and then maybe more defined pads throughout, so you could actually see through to the trunk all the time with having pads developed away from the trunk. I think that would be pretty cool. So that's probably where I'm taking it next, the next direction. All right, so excuse the mess. I got to keep the trash and recycle in the garage because of the bear, my arch nemesis. And here we go. We got some nice large panels, old glass. These do have, some of them have working cranks where I could open them up with screens for airflow, depending on the temperatures. And then I've got all sorts of different sizes. So that's where the challenge is going to come from. I was thinking that they were all the same height, and that I wanted to be able to have an entrance that wasn't ghetto, because I'm not construction savvy at all. This is very temporary. I just put this up to see if I can make it happen. And so I will be able to enter through the garage and then have heat source from the garage into it. And this isn't too tight. And then take it all the way down the length of the garage, closing it at the end. So I don't know. I did like a rough measurement, but definitely I'm going to have to play with this thing. I put some of the later panels up just to get an idea, and then I got a buddy who's pretty good at construction coming to help me out, so we'll definitely need some 2x4s to kind of frame it in. And then I was thinking maybe a like polytunnel type of plastic, clear, that I could roll up, attached from the roof. I've got the gutter built in, so I may be able to do something as far as water goes there. I just really like the idea of having it in between the house and the garage. You know, control the amount of sun, control the weather, the wind, and all that. Although it is glass, so I guess that really doesn't matter. But all right, whatever. Here's the update. It's the materials I got. So if you have some great ideas out there, holler at me with them, because I've had these things for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I've been, you know, going back and forth on what I want to do in my head. You know, clearly I'm going to need some cinder blocks and 2x4s to level and frame in, and then maybe we'll just make it up as we go. That's what you deal with when you're dealing with recycled materials. You know, this didn't come out of a kit. So all right, let's get this put up on the tripod. Looks like I have some of my maples that are in there that need some pruning back. Might as well do that now. Got a bunch of different trees in here, like there's an 8-bolt maples. These are baby Rosa Sharon growing up next to the mamas. And here's the hickory I just pruned the other day. See, more babies of the Rosa Sharon coming into bloom. And this hickory budding back. That'll look like that, hopefully, for matching topiaries. So I'll get this set up here and we'll get to pruning. All right. So yeah, I got this thing when it was like 3.5, 4 feet tall. I think maybe it's its 7th year with me. So maybe it was anywhere between 35 and 65 bucks. I can never remember. We got apple trees at the same time. So I'm just gonna take this maple down here. It's got a nice little start. I won't take it too much, just so I'm not gonna move like that. And it's got a twin right next to it. You are a thorny weed. Aren't thorny weeds just like the absolute worst? And I swear they've adapted to the point where it doesn't matter what type of gloves you wear, they're going through it. I know, toughen up, Jared. All right. So there's like some stupid ones, like this tiny little new growth growing off the trunk, which I have no interest in at this point. It's too late. I don't want any new growth, working with what I got. In fact, I'll probably end up removing probably about 1/3 of the branches this coming year as I transition it from classic Christmas tree style to, I don't know what style I would consider what I'm going to go for. I'm taking this all the way back, leave like a 1/2 inch, just because we are transitioning seasons. I don't want the tree to go into too much shock. Just kind of out of the profile area. So I got some division this year with the hard prune. Otherwise, I got, you know, single growth kicking back where I pruned it. I'm mainly just focusing on taking some energy out of the top of the tree where stuff is kicking back from the last time we pruned, and I don't really remember when that is. It couldn't have been too long ago, maybe beginning of summer. I was getting like huge growth in the apex, so we took it down, and once again that happened. So I mean, obviously the tree's happy and healthy. These are the worst pruners ever. Like when the price is too good to be true, sometimes that's why. They're just terrible. All right, that's not too bad. It's not too much. We got getting a little crowded here. I don't know what this branch is thinking. Why I would want him at all. go. Yeah. Got a little image here. Here. Boom. In some spots it's just growing straight up. So that's not going to develop into anything cool, so why even let it put any energy towards it at this point? Yeah. This is growing back towards it. Looks like I left it this past time. I must have not been paying attention. I don't even know. Boom, boom. So now let's take a look at the overall top here. If y'all have experience with this type of tree, please let me know if there's a better technique or time to do this. I feel like it's had so much energy this year. It's taken maybe 3 prunings. So wow, that's really packed up there. I don't know if I love it or hate it or setting myself up for failure. It would make for a nice strong hold for like the angel or the star this year. I know that. All right, so I'm gonna leave this and see how it reacts, and then in probably a week or 2 I'll take an action or leave it for the season, but at least it got its shape back. Cool. All right, y'all, so greenhouse project just started. That's gonna be hilarious. When I'm telling you I'm bad at this stuff, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know. Got like a drill and a screwdriver and a hammer, so I guess we'll see. And I'll let you know how the Fraser Fir kicks back. So I'm Jared Paul. Hope you all are doing well out there. It's Labor Day here in the US, which I don't know what that means. I work every Labor Day, so if you have the day off, hopefully you're enjoying it. For my family, yours, y'all, cheers.